I would like to start by asking how many of you have visited a different side of El Paso lately? The rapidly expanding east side, or maybe Central with its old historic buildings? We're all from one side of town or the other. I, in particular, have a home on the far east side of town. Obviously, not all of us know or knew what these places were when you first arrived, so I'd like to provide some clarification for you. As a naturalized El Pasoan, I have long had an interest in how this town is structured and how it's expanded over the years. Our beautiful town has seen a rapid expansion in the past few years. There are some negatives and some positives about it, but it's growing whether we want it to or not. But I know it's confusing for some on just how it's structured and the rapid expansion happening now. So, for that reason, I would like to provide you with some information that may be helpful. Let's start by explaining how the city is structured. There are 7 primary neighborhoods, with each having similar neighborhoods within it. The downtown area is similar to most other downtowns: skyscrapers, government buildings, financial district, apartment complexes, and smaller neighborhoods. Chihuahuaita, Segundo Barrio, and neighborhoods just south of Paisano, right by the border, are 2 of the oldest neighborhoods. Union and McGuffin surround the downtown buildings to the east and west, respectively. Altogether, the historic downtown is one of the oldest districts with a ton of old buildings and culturally significant parts of town. The west side is a large area covering everything north of downtown, south of the 375 highway, and west of the Franklin Mountains. One of the greenest and affluent neighborhoods is located here, normally known as the Upper Valley. The Rio Grande runs along this area, so it's lush with vegetation, but there is not much flooding as the river flows south. Central and West Central are neighborhoods just outside of downtown. The historic Kern Place and Sunset Heights make up these areas. You can find some of the richest homes in these places. There is also the Five Points area, which has become fairly popular with a few restaurants and businesses. The Northeast is the next area, teeming with military families, and not much else. El Paso's baseball team was once here, but the El Paso Chicken Diablos, the mascot was a chicken for some reason, are no more. Speaking of which, I missed mentioning that our baseball team is now found in downtown, one of the nicest ballparks I've ever seen. The Mission Valley, or Lower Valley as some call it, is the land near the border, which includes the Isleta del Sur Pueblo, one of only 3 Native American tribes officially recognized in Texas. Another interesting story is that the oldest Thanksgiving may have occurred in what is now San Elizario, a small town just outside the city limits, but some still consider this a part of our city. Finally, East El Paso. This area is huge, densely populated, and rapidly expanding. Everything east of the 54 and north of the I-10 is considered the east side. Everything east of the 375 is sometimes referred to as the far east, but I don't think that's anything official yet. That's where I live, so obviously it's the most important side of town. I arrived in El Paso, specifically Fort Bliss, in 2008. I remember the town being quite small, but it expanded quite rapidly. Heading out into El Paso was confusing and it seemed like an entirely different world. But now that I know these things of El Paso, it's a far more manageable to navigate, and I hope that this information has helped you as well. Thanks.